Hey you guys, it's Britt. Today we're here to talk about the Prince family. I had a few thoughts, so if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so I have yet to talk about the Prince family in a dedicated video. I have mentioned their channel a couple times in passing, but I wanted to go over some of their content. The reason why people dislike them, aside from the fact that they're family vloggers, that's kind of the obvious, but there is so much of their content that is upsetting, it's triggering, it's most of the time clickbait, but a lot of times it's not clickbait. And the things that they are exposing their kids to, I know for a fact it will have some type of lasting impact on their lives. Their kids are old enough where they're going to remember things like this. They're not small toddlers, at least for me. I think back to the time I was 2 or 3 years old, and I don't really have any memories associated with that time. Once I got to be 5, 6, 7, 8, I can remember things that happened in my life. And YouTube as a whole is something that is a lot for a child to understand. Just the fact of, you're being filmed every day. It's going up to this, place called the internet, where millions of people around the world can have eyes into your home and into really private, intimate moments that your parents have chosen to throw up onto the internet in order for them to become financially successful. That is a lot for kids to process. And I've always said for a very long time, I think that it's going to be very interesting in, I would say, about 15 years, like 12 to 15 years from now. What are a lot of these kids going to be saying about their parents? By their parents pinning them on YouTube, is it going to make a positive impact on their relationships as an adult with parents? Is it going to be negative? Is it going to be kind of in between? Time will tell, but I've also said for a very long time, I think that we're going to see a lot of lawsuits. I think that there are going to be a lot of broken relationships. It's hard enough to have a really solid relationship with your children as they become adults, and to throw something like this in there where there's exploitation involved, privacy loss, clips that are on the internet forever that you didn't want to have on the internet. When you add all of those into the mix, it only creates for a bigger puzzle and a bigger kind of cluster. So I don't know. I don't know what the future holds. None of us do, but it is going to be interesting no matter how it shakes out. As of right now, they have 8.79 million subscribers, so they are obviously one of the biggest family vlogging channels on YouTube. And this is in line with the LeBrants, the Ace family, 8 Passengers. Their kids are the star of the show. This is not a channel like Love Meg or Tara Henderson, where the kids are a part of the channel and they show like day in the life and other stuff as well. This is, their kids are the channel. Their kids are the content. I've said this before when we're talking about doing commentary on family vloggers. I think that there are bigger fish to fry. So I always find it interesting when a ton of content is done about someone like Love Meg or Brianna K. Now, don't get me wrong, pump the brakes. I have absolutely covered Brianna K when she had things going on that were commentary worthy, in my opinion. But as far as just constantly covering her for no reason, I always find that interesting when there are families like Ace family, LeBrants, Royalty family. There are a ton that if it wasn't for their kids, they would have no content and no views. So they are approaching 8.8 million right now, and all of their videos get around Some get 2 million views, some get around 800,000. It just kind of depends on the topic. Their most recent video is Dad Bully His Kids in Basketball. The next one, Breaking Up in Front of Our Kids. And this idea, you see Bianca is the mom. She has her hand around his neck. Damien is the dad. So Bianca has her hand, I'll throw the thumbnail, around his neck. So let's just say that this was just for the thumbnail, okay? Posing like that, having your kids pose in it so they can be in the thumbnail as well, where you are exhibiting DV. I'll put the meaning right here in case, any of you guys don't know what DV stands for. You're exhibiting DV in front of your children for a YouTube thumbnail so that you can get more clicks and views, because if you weren't exhibiting DV, then your video would not get 1.6 million views like this one did. So even if it's explained to the kids, oh, this is just for the thumbnail, we're just joking, it's just a prank, because obviously they don't break up, it's just for a video. But even if that's explained to the kids, kids don't have an understanding of situations like adults do. Obviously, their young minds are still growing. They're still learning how to understand different situations and what different words mean. And I just don't see any reason, aside for money and clicks and clout, why this would be published onto a channel. There are so many, families that go through divorce with young kids, older kids, whatever. The impacts of divorce, especially if the children are old enough to really understand what's going on, have a lifelong effect on these kids. Seeing something like this, DV, but it's, actually happening, this does absolutely ruin childhoods. It can make mental health plummet at a very young age. So I understand that in one camp, people will say, well, it's just for a thumbnail, it's not that serious. But everything on YouTube, I look at through a real life lens. And when I see something like this and think of the real life impact that divorce, DV, fighting, arguing has on young kids, I just don't understand how you can put that up and actually sleep at night. But I always have to remind myself that family vloggers are greedy, money hungry, narcissist jerks. And that's all they are. That's my opinion. Nobody has to agree with me. But when you're willing to, and we're going to go through some more of these videos, when you're willing to put shit like this out onto your channel, you cannot tell me that it's driven by anything but money, attention, views, clout. I hate that word. I'm sure that you guys understand what I mean. You can definitely tell that their channel is targeted towards kids. They have a lot of the really bright thumbnails, a lot of emojis, neon colors, sad faces, accidents, people being hurt. So it's pretty obvious who they're marketing their channel towards. And then when you go through and see a lot of these videos, it is mind-blowing. This is why it's so important. I constantly say, when these kids are watching family vloggers are not making content for kids. They're making content that they want kids to view because it'll get them, a bunch of views, and kids spend a lot of time on YouTube. But their content is not appropriate for children, period. So then you go down to 13 days ago, and their problematic content is on like a normal cycle. Grandpa gives kids a whooping. The next one is DJ almost drowns in the swimming pool. So we are exploiting injuries, violence, sadness, trauma. And then like husband rates my scandalous Christmas, what is this, outfits? Husband rates my scandalous Christmas costumes. And yeah, like that would be one thing. But again, kids are watching your channel. So I constantly feel like family vloggers are wanting to have their cake and eat it too, where they want to put out inappropriate content for kids, but they want kids to view their channels because they know that kids will just watch 100 videos on their iPad, which equals income for them. It's just all so gross. The worst Thanksgiving ever. I broke my hand. I got rushed to the emergency room, and then it's like you click on the video and they're laughing and kiki kaka, and like it's all just so mindless. It is all mindless bullshit. And no offense to kids, because kids will find this kind of stuff entertaining because they don't understand why you shouldn't sad fish on the thumbnail saying this is the worst Thanksgiving ever, but then everyone's laughing and holding hands. Worst Thanksgiving ever to me would be not being able to afford a Thanksgiving dinner, not having a home to sit down at to have Thanksgiving, maybe losing a loved one, going through grief, going through mourning, like draw it or eat it food challenge, and there's like poop on the thumbnail. It's so stupid. I'm pregnant prank on my husband. He cried. Can we just get rid of I'm pregnant pranks on YouTube? That is very 2015 to me, and it wasn't funny back then. It's not funny now. I just don't understand. Even if both people are in on it, it's just not something to monetize. It's not something to exploit. There are, and I've talked about this recently, so I'm not going to get on a tangent here, but there are so many people who suffer with miscarriage, infertility, infant loss, child loss. So to literally monetize a video where you think that saying you're pregnant is a prank is funny and good times, to me just shows what a garbage person you are. I'm not happy anymore. Prank on my wife. I mean, it's constant broken heart emojis on the thumbnails. Just, I got infected from going out of the country, and the thumbnail, I'll put it up here. I just watched the video. Literally, this thumbnail looks like some kind of crazy skin infection that you would swear is just like, the craziest thing ever. You watch the video and she had a little bit of dry skin on the back of her ear. Nothing was wrong with her tongue. She had a sunburn on her back. Okay, sunburns happen all the time. All the time. There's nothing crazy about having a sunburn and having your skin peel. So this is constantly what they do. It's constant clickbait, crazy thumbnails, exploiting injury, disease, sickness, cheating, infidelity. It's disgusting. In fact, I would go as far as to say that the Prince family is worse than the Ace family as far as their content and cringeworthy factor goes. I know I don't like the Ace family. They're scammers. They're all the bad things. But if you want to focus on the thumbnails, the content, the clickbait, the exploitation, I don't really know if anyone's worse than the Prince family. Even 8 passengers. Clickbait, like I said before, clickbait is a little bit annoying. Sure, but when you're talking about clickbaiting a disease, someone, being ill, someone losing, losing each other, like it's just so gross. Bianca is absolutely, I cannot watch her for longer than 5 minutes. I just think both of them together are more obnoxious than most people on YouTube. But as far as her alone, her overall demeanor just comes off as so over the top and fake.
To YouTube, you already know what it is. It's your girl Bianca. And I am back.
You guys know how it is. I'd rather have someone who tell me how it is. Just, you are who you are. I can respect that. But with her, it's just so over the top, fake, and phony, and I hate people like that, not only in my real life, but also online. But all of this content that I've just looked at and kind of listed some of their more recent videos, the most problematic content that they've done, and you guys tell me in the comments if you want me to react to any of these videos, please let me know. But I also realize that it can be upsetting, even if it's clickbait. It can still be very upsetting for people to watch this kind of content and listen to it. So I didn't want to just come out with reactions and it be triggering for any of you guys. So you tell me down below, do you guys want a reaction to any of these videos? Do you not? Sound off in the comments. But one of the ones that they did 2 years ago that got a ton of negative attention was the fact that they tried to say that their baby had no heartbeat. And this is just insane to me that anyone would, you know, exploit this. Or, you know, if you're gonna say this and it's a lie, then that's where the problem comes in. You know, I said with the Brianna K miscarriage situation, she has every right to share that on her channel. Do I think that the posed camera for the hug with her and Adam was a little awkward? I do, but I'm just not touching that content. With this, it's something different because it's a lie. So if you're going to put something really sensitive and deeply touching out onto your channel, but it's a lie, then people can react to that. If you're sharing a really personal story and it's not a lie, then, you know, in my opinion, that is hands off for commentary channels, and that's just my opinion. Am I saying that I know all the rules? Absolutely not. But for me, that's a big differentiating factor, because if you're going to put something like this out, but it's a lie, then people have every right to share an opinion on that. You cannot clickbait your child losing its life, not having a heartbeat. You know, infant loss is something so, it's just so beyond heartbreaking. If you're going to put that out and that's, you know, not what's going on, then you're disgusting and people are going to have an opinion about it. Also, a year ago, Bianca saved Kyrie from drowning. So there's just a ton of really problematic content. They've also done a couple of videos where it's like a hidden camera Uber kind of thing, and that's just so meaningless. But either way, Bianca, in one of the videos, she was playing this character. It was extremely distasteful, so disgusting, and so just, when I see something like that, that's the kind of content that I'm like, you're showing me who you are and I believe it. I don't need to see a whole lot more, because if you're going to put something like that out, you got into the role that you were playing, you film the content, you edit the content, you make the thumbnail, you place your ads, you put your tags in the video, you do this description box. There are so many steps along the way where you could have said, I'm a trash person for even thinking that this was going to be a good idea for a video. Let me cut it off right now and do the right thing and stop while I'm not ahead, because you're definitely not ahead doing that kind of shit. So I look at things like this, and that's where I'm like, I am sorry. There were so many opportunities to stop this, and you chose to allow it to keep going. So there are quite a few videos of theirs that are extremely problematic and don't even belong on YouTube, in my opinion. But I did want to give an intro to this family vlogging channel. If, like I said, if you guys want me to react to any of these, or if you want to go to their channel and find a video, drop it in the comments, DM me on Instagram, send me an email. I'm happy to do a reaction. But again, because of the subject matter and some of the titles, even if they are clickbait, I still wanted to just kind of like get your all's opinion before I just come out with a full-on reaction, because I know that they're, you know, it can be a lot. So Either way, that's it for now. So if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.